Hey everyone, Jengar here. Welcome to the 6th episode of Jabber with Jengar, in which today I'll talk to you a little bit about my family, work, the channel progress, the squadron, Hearts of Iron 4, and after that we'll go into the big patch 1.63 debate. What did this patch do for air? And after that I have a question and answer with some questions that I thought were relevant. Now let's start off with the family. Everything is going nice and peachy. We are taking care of the baby, and he's going into his next phase, which is crawling and being more talkative and stuff like that. Of course he can't talk yet, but he's, you know, baby talk, like bah, 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 you know how that goes. If you have a baby, you know all about that. He has several different sounds he likes to make. It's fantastic. But it is also even more time consuming because he wants to play more and he wants to play longer. He has more energy now. Sleeping time is going down because he sleeps better in the night, which is fantastic. You know, I'm getting my rest and I'm starting to look more alive again. But yeah, for my daytime hours, there's more time going into him, which is fine, of course. He's coming first. But for the amount of videos I can crunch out, it's not so good. Less time to fly and less time to edit and all that stuff. So yeah, that's a bit of a how do you call it? Downside, upside. You know how it goes. When we go to work, still having to do my thing with this manager. You know, I talked about him last time. He demoted one of my colleagues, and that's still an ongoing problem. I myself, I've managed to keep him neutral towards me. Of course, I know what he is doing with my colleague. I don't agree with him there, but you know, trying to make it work. Not a time where you easily change jobs or anything. So I'd like to keep working at my work, and which is going pretty well. The clients are alright, and my work is tip top. Everything's going well there. But it also leaves me with little time. I sometimes work a half an hour extra, stuff like that. Yeah. You know how it goes, and that all comes into my playing time as we come to the channel progress, which has been growing great across the whole summer, and since the last jabber we have been growing steadily. There has been a little dip since the end of summer, and that's slowly picking up again. You know, some of my online friends told me that summer is always a time when it goes a lot less fast, the channel growth, and I've noticed that only a little bit towards the end of the summer, where we had several heat waves and everybody was cooking their ass on the beach. But that's logical, man. That was such a great period of great weather and stuff like that. But we've still been going alright. We crossed the 2,000 subscriber mark, and we're already pushing towards 2200. So that's fantastic. Thank you for all that support. I really appreciate it. All the comments, all the likes, and the subs, of course. That's fantastic. Also, since the last time, my squadron has grown enormously. The squadron had 66 members last time I mentioned it, and since I mentioned that, we had an explosion of new members, and we are now at 126 members. Only 2. I keep dropping people who have been inactive for a long time. You know, there's still 30 people or something that haven't been active for a long time. We also have a few new officers, which is also great, and things are really going well. It's gelling, and there's a lot of activity, and officers doing what they're supposed to do, organizing squads and stuff like that. So and of course fantastic for all you guys who coming on Discord all the time, having a grand old time. As we continue to grow, I will remove inactive people though. I will soon make a little chat in Discord where you can mention if you are AFK for longer than 2 weeks, because yeah, the inactive people will slowly be removed as we fill up every time we hit 128 members. I will remove 2 members, and I still have a lot of old members in mind who haven't been on for half a year. But after that, it's still going to be the not active people who are going to be removed, unless you let us know where you went. But for the people who are new, I have a squadron. It's called Unrivaled, with the tag enemy Unrivaled, or Unrivaled enemy. It's a great squadron. We have a lot of active guys here, both for arcade and realistic battle, and I would definitely invite you to hop on, to get on board. It really puts an extra juice to your playtime, to fly with the squads and to learn how to fly wingman and all that stuff. We are really working on that, how to support each other, stuff like that. So that's really nice. And there is no requirements, just jump in if you're active and you'll improve along the way if necessary. Maybe you're already very good. This is possible. Aside from the squadron, which is great, I wanted to let you know that of course I had less time to play. I just mentioned that. And for Hearts of Iron 4 content, you haven't seen it for a while, for a month or something, because I could only release about 2, sometimes 3 videos a week, and I decided to not bring out Hearts of Iron 4 content, because most of you guys come here for the War Thunder content, and I didn't want to clog up the limited time I have with Hearts of Iron 4 content, which only got about 10% of viewership and has dropped a little bit as well. So not many of you are enjoying that, but for the people who are enjoying it, so know that I've just put it on hold, and if I ever get more time again I will continue it, but not now. So here we go, finally. Let's look at patch 1.63. This patch I have now flown almost all the new planes. I only have to do a review on the Brigand, which is the British heavy fighter. But the new planes are nice. They have some hits and some misses though, like the P1Y1 that we just reviewed. Just a plane without a real roll. I don't understand why it was added. It doesn't really add much. But all in all, the new planes have been okay and are nice and keep your drive. Things like the Cougar are nice, good looking planes. But for the problems we talked about last time as well, like the bomber spam, the short matches, nothing much has changed in that respect. Every time I jump into arcade mode, turns out that matches last 3 to 5 minutes, and a 6-minute match is a long match. A 7-minute match is a very very long match, and you don't get them anymore, the long matches, or barely. Yeah, this patch really hasn't done anything to change that issue. There is a lot of solutions offered on the forums, adding more ground targets, adding more bases, having a more fluent battlefield, stuff like that, which will also be very nice to have. A little bit like Enduring Confrontation, but then for arcade mode, which would also be very enjoyable for that mode. And they could just add that to the matches or to the game modes. There's so much to do. There's so much solutions you can think of, but they haven't implemented anything yet. I think they're working really hard on naval. You know, you're seeing the development issues come by, and you see that they're working on them. So this is probably what they're focusing on, and hopefully after that they're gonna look at this issues in arcade battle, because I really feel that the mode has really been killed, at least partly for me, because just the 2, 3, 4 minute matches are just not fun, and the slightly longer matches are okay. They are what they used to be, but they still get ended by the bombers often, and that bomber spam is really something I'm not enjoying, which you have seen, because of course I have made a jump a little bit towards RB jet adventures, which has been a lot of fun. I have to say, I've been having a lot of fun in those jets, the 7.0s, and of course the Cougar came by in the reviews of the new planes, which was fun plane. Although of course it has very tough opposition at its battle rating, but still, regardless, it's fun and I'm enjoying that. But I know I have a lot of people who also love my arcade content. It's just that every time I try to make a review of something in arcade, it takes me a freaking long time, to get a match that takes longer than 5 minutes and is actually worth showing, which gives me a problem because, of course, like I mentioned, I have time constraints with the baby, and it's really difficult to spend a lot of time in arcade and get that good long match. So yeah, a little less AB. You will still see arcade for all my premium reviews, which I always do in both realistic battle and arcade, because there's real money involved, and I like to look at it then in both modes that are most played. Of course, you know I don't fly sim. And you will see, sometimes you will see squad battles, and I will make sure that I will put some arcade in there as well. And of course you can ask me for arcade content in my Subs Choice series, which will be continued shortly. By the way, I will check which plane has won the last one, and probably the next video will be Subs Choice video. And then the Brigand will come, who I am still unlocking right now, that plane. So those will probably be the next 2 planes I'm gonna review. And after that we will continue with the Jet RB adventure. There have also been, in one of the latest patches, there have been some tweaked flight models with the 109s, the 190s, and several other planes, the J2Ms and some Russian planes. I don't remember everything from the top of my head, but I like to do some testing on those planes as well, if time allows. If time allows, that's for sure. And of course we're gonna make another air combat maneuvers video, which will probably feature the climbing spiral, which we're gonna look at most likely. But that is upcoming. That's all upcoming, guys. Now let's go into the question and answer. You guys have asked me a lot of questions along the way the past few months, and I've written down a few to that I found relevant for a broader audience to be answered. Rational Reality American asked me, AB and RB, do you change how to fly? How do you change your flight style? Not really, I have to say. I have slightly changed my flight style in RB by making sure that my throttle is always on 0 and getting grip on the planes in realistic battle compared to AB. But my flight style is always the same, in the sense that I try to get altitude and I work my way down from there with the plane's strength. But in any plane, altitude and energy is important, so you always want to climb, and that's what I always do, whether it's arcade or RB. Sometimes I'm fooling around with the squad, and then I might go for a rush in arcade with a few guys and we'll rush it together. But when I play alone for most of my reviews, I play both modes to stay alive. My aim is always to stay alive. So I hope that answers your question. Michiel Bijlsma asked me, can you give me tips to get research points fast? Well, without spending any money, I would recommend you to not fly for RP in your newly unlocked planes. Of course they're stock, but also you are not comfortable in them yet, even if you just spaded them. I would recommend you to select a plane and a rank, a battle, a BR at which you feel comfortable, and then go at it with that plane. And if you have some money to spare, you can buy some premium, or you can buy even a premium plane in which you would feel comfortable. But of course, if you don't want to spend any money, pick a plane you're really comfortable with and go into the mode you feel most comfortable with. For me, I think I would get more RP in arcade mode, but RB, if that's your forte, then go in there. Edraw the Normal asked me, hi Jengar, why do you tap fire? Why do I tap fire? Well, I looked at it and I indeed do that. Why do I do that? I have always done that. It's been something I do to find the range, to make sure that you have the right angle, and that's why I tap fire. Sometimes that costs me a kill, because you know it can happen that you miss a target because you had the right aim, you shot your first target with right aim, and because you tap fire you only hit him once, and he gets alerted and he rolls away. But when you miss, you get, especially when you use tracers, you get a little bit of an inkling when you're firing. And especially with the jets, which was, I think it was a jet video in which he asked that question. With the jets, I'm still very much finding my aim, finding my lead. And I do that a little bit by tap firing. Tap, you see the tracers go, and you can adjust your aim and get on target pretty quickly that way. And I'm convinced that leads to more kills than it loses me kills, let's say that. Next question was Tom Sommerfield. What aircraft haven't you spaded yet? Could make an interesting series, spading everything. Yeah, that's true, Tom. It could definitely be an interesting series. I can tell you though that since my son was born, I really haven't spaded any plane normally anymore. This is because I barely have time to fly spaded planes and get enough footage to get my videos done. So to spade planes would really mean 2 weeks without any videos, and that is not something I want to do. So yeah, the first 2 years of my War Thunder career, I have spent a lot of time spading everything. I did use a premium account, but I spaded everything the old-fashioned way by grinding them. And but since 9 months, I really stopped doing that, and I sometimes throw a little bit of cash at the game. Yeah, so I'm one of those guys that keeps the game alive, I'd say. But alright, next question. Klaus Nicholas asks me, why do you have MGs and cannons on the same mouse button? I chose for that. I do have a button that allows me to only fire the machine guns. But when I fire my cannons, I also want to fire my machine guns. Why? Because it saturates more air. So you lead a plane and you lead, and then you saturate the air before the enemy plane with bullets. Firing both the MGs and the cannon at the same time gives me more intensity on the target I'm targeting. And it even gives me a wider spread because MGs and cannons often take different leads. So you saturate a bigger area and you have more chance to kill an opponent. That's why I have the MGs and the cannons on the same mouse button. Braindead asked me a question, and he asked, nice fit, do you have a press account? Oh man, no, this is just my account, and I am proud to say that I have done everything myself, bought all the planes myself, and never gotten anything for free. So I was in the same boat as you guys, either put in time or throw in some cash to unlock everything. And then we have a question by Jean Valjean, which is French, I think. And this was in regard to my Cougar video, and he said, Jengar, I see you play and hide in your airfield like a pussy. This is not the way to play. And he said in another comment, he said in the second comment, because I told him that, yeah, going back to the airfield and repairing is really not something you should do, with a wink and a joke, right? And he said, no, I saw it in a few matches. You run back to your airfield and you're hiding there, which is a pushy behavior. Okay. Why do some people think that it is cowardice to run back to the airfield? Sometimes you are in a situation, Sean, where you cannot win. You have to recognize this moment. You cannot win certain moments, especially in that moment you mentioned, because then you critted my plane. My plane was damaged and you were 2, 3, 4 guys in the middle of the field where I was, and I ran away to the airfield. Yes. Why do you think I did that? Because I wanted to survive and I wanted to come back, reset the situation to give myself a better chance. You know, and the funny thing I also mentioned with him is that the Red Baron, Manfred van Richthofen, he once said to a group of officers that the only reason why he was still alive with so many kills and after so many years was because at every time he was in a disadvantaged situation, he would turn around and run away. So he would turn around and run away if he didn't have the advantage. That's why he was still alive. Manfred von Richthofen, the biggest ace from World War I. Right, and I'm pretty sure that the people survived in World War II did the same thing. So don't be afraid to run away. Sometimes it's good. Guys, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. Hey, so I hope you enjoyed the video, that you learned something there. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video. You know, those likes really make a difference. Do leave me a comment. You know, I always look forward to the comments every day. And if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Become part of this community. I really love to have you aboard, and don't feel shy to leave me some comments. I always try to respond to them. So again, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.